Thank you, Madam President. I just have a few questions on this bill, if Senator Krueger would yield for a moment.
Senator Krueger, will you yield?
I will certainly yield for Senator O'Mara.
Sponsor
Thank
will yield.
you, Madam President. Senator, this bill 8715 that we have before us, it's been in print and online for maybe 5 or 10 minutes now. That sound about right to you?
Could be. No, in fairness, there was a earlier version, and then the governor wanted to make a change, and so the new version got here very recently. So I believe you're approximately correct. Racing the clock to get this done.
Yes, Madam President, through you, if the sponsor will continue to yield.
Will the sponsor yield?
Of course.
Sponsor yields.
Yeah, we are really racing the clock because it's 3:31 right now, and the comptroller has said that they need this by 4 o'clock this afternoon, 29 minutes, to meet certain payroll requirements for state workers to be paid. Now, this is part of the state budget. Can you tell me what the total amount of spending is in this bill?
$360 million through you, Madam President.
Through you, Madam President, if Senator Krueger will continue to yield.
Senator Krueger, do you yield?
Yes.
Senator Krueger yields.
Senator Krueger, can you tell us what the last-minute revision that the governor wanted in here was?
I believe that they left out one of the lines of appropriation, but I don't know which line of appropriation got added back in.
Through you, Madam President, the senator would yield.
Senator, do you yield?
Yes.
Senator yields.
What was the dollar amount of that line?
Figure that out. The governor reports it was an administrative error, so the money number might not have changed, just the language might have changed.
Through you, Madam President, if Senator Krueger will continue to yield.
Senator Krueger, do you yield?
Yes.
Senator Krueger yields.
How much of the spending in this bill is not related directly to payroll coverage for this week's payroll?
There's payroll and the fringe benefits associated with payroll. There's the general state charges payments that also associate with payroll. There's some OPWDD, primarily money for contracts for residential care. There's some Department of Health WIC payments. There's some funding for the Indian Health Program and some NPS payments, which are contractual payments. And yet, do we have the answer on what percentage of that is actual payroll? Looking through the bill, but we don't necessarily have that yet for you, Senator O'Mara.
Okay, if I can move on to the next question and get that answer when you have it, please, in the interest
Senator
of time.
Krueger, do you yield?
So does
Bless you. Senator Krueger yields. Bless you.
God bless you.
I apologize, Madam President. I see you
5 times.
Once I start, I just can't do anything about it.
Senator Krueger, if you're not dizzy, I forgot even what I was going to ask now.
Would you like to sneeze?
Yeah, maybe I'll sneeze. Maybe that'll bring it back to me. We're running short on time. Senator Krueger, this is part of the budget that we haven't put together yet, and we have probably, 8 or 9 more bills to go after this one that have apparently not been agreed to yet. Can you tell us generally where we are in the state of negotiations as far as reaching a final agreement on all parts of the budget so they're all together and we know fully what we're voting on here?
So I actually think that would take beyond our 4 o'clock timeline, but I'm actually cautiously optimistic that we could actually get the full bills done by Thursday. That's the estimate I was given before I came into chamber. So yes, it is an extender. We have passed extenders many years where we didn't quite get everything done by the deadline of April 1st. And so it's not a particularly unusual thing for this chamber to see an extender bill, which really, for people who don't know what we're talking about, we want to make sure that the workers of New York State continue to get paid while we're still working out the final details of the full budget. But I am cautiously optimistic that we are close enough that we could get the whole package of budget bills to print and ready to vote on by Thursday.
Through you, Madam President, if the Senator will continue to yield.
Senator, would you yield?
Yes, Madam President.
Senator yields.
Now, all the pieces of that budget would have to be in print by midnight tonight for us to timely vote on them on Thursday. So are you anticipating messages of necessity from the governor for every bill of the budget that we're going to pass?
What do we need them on? We are likely to need message of necessity on several of the bills. We've already done the debt service bill. The judiciary and legislative, probably not. But it is quite possible that we will need messages on all the other bills.
Through you, Madam President, if the Senator will continue to yield.
Senator, you yield?
Yes.
Senator yields.
Senator Krueger, has there been an agreement yet on the avails as far as how much revenue there is going to be to spend in whole on what's going to make up this year's budget?
Census plan agreed to on March 1st, so we know what those avails are. I believe that was 1.6 billion at the time. And I think revenues have been coming in more strongly than we expected from our taxes since then. So do we have an We're remaining at the consensus plan of approximately 1.2 billion in avails.
And that, through you, Madam President, the sponsor will continue to yield.
The sponsor yield?
Yes.
Sponsor yields.
With that level of avails, then, if it sticks at that, that would bring the total overall spending in this budget to what?
You know, we confess we didn't bring the right paperwork to the floor. We think it's about a 5% increase, 5.5% increase over the year before. And unfortunately, I'm not remembering the numbers. So we'd be happy to get them to all of the senators right after chambers, but I don't have that paper trail here today.
Thank you, Senator. Madam President, the sponsor will continue to yield.
The sponsor yield.
Yes.
The sponsor yields.
Traditionally, Senator Krueger, in the negotiations of the budget, usually much earlier than this point, there would have been provided certain so-called table targets of what was available to spend on each subject matter, such as transportation, education, health, the big areas. What are the table targets at this point of the game?
Have table targets at this point in the game. And I agree, that's a little frustrating. I think frustrating to all the members, but we do not have table targets at this time.
Senator Krueger, thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator.